Welcome to this week's edition of the Business 7 Show. We speak to banker Joseph Shyama about efforts to promote local content policy and local value addition within the Namibian economy. Today, we're speaking to local banker Joseph Shyama around the issues of local beneficiation. Joseph happens to be a good friend of the Business 7 platform, always writing for the publication and having featured regularly in the past. Welcome back to the Business 7 Show, Joseph. How are you?
Good, my friend. Thank you. And
Uh, your latest piece or opinion piece rather that you shared with us speaks around the issue of local beneficiation, and this is a call that is coming strongly out of the president, where she is calling for the mineral processing of minerals in Namibia and not outside. In your opinion, how best do we move forward on that matter?
yes, I think this is a hard time currently. If you look, most of the countries, especially in the global south, um, and as Africa concerned, you see, like in Namibia, we have been exporting jobs by means of exporting raw materials. And I believe that the call from the head of state, and if I can remember very well, our former president or the previous administration, they have also indicated that Namibia needs to move away from exporting raw materials. And the most important thing that we need to do now is to move away from the word, but it is now to implement. And I think what is important is that the president need to engage the cabinet, and the cabinet need to buy in, so that we can start, and we cannot just always preaching a restriction of raw materials, or exporting raw materials and so on. We need to start with action, need to start now.
And then there's always this, or there seems to be this notion that by preaching this issue of beneficiation, we are moving towards protectionist mechanisms. We are not seen to be trading on equal par with our trading partners and so forth. What do you say to such suspicions or allegations rather?
Yes, I believe that the president message is very clear when he said, look, we want to be partners in business. So it should be a win-win approach. So because we they the investors, they cannot just come to our country or to Namibia, for instance, to invest. So at the end of the day, they are not adhering to the law of the country. So that is the key, and we don't want someone to be disadvantaged, whether it's investors or Namibians and so on. So the natural resources, it needs to work for the Namibians.
How do you see this issue of local beneficiation? Let me rephrase. How do you see this issue of local beneficiation advantaging the local economy? This is now the economy at large, the workers, the employees, and even you and me, several stages far away from this.
It's a very, very good question. What is very important is that in Namibia, I know that we are still a developing country. So, but what is most important is that our leaders that we have voted, So they need to educate each and everyone. And also, the the move away from exporting raw materials, it should not come it should not come at the expense of our people. So and that is what we want to see is a full transformation of economy, is a move away from inequalities. And also what is important is that we don't want the investors, when they come to invest in our country, and only a certain group or a certain people that are benefiting. So we want it must full apply to all the Namibians. And as the president always says, so that we are too few to be poor. And I believe if we can live by that slogan, so then obvious we will not see poverty in Namibia, we will not see inequality in Namibia. So we just need to do it and to implement it on a very collective ways.
The Ministry of Mines, or rather previous Ministry of Mines and Energy, rolled out a beneficiation strategy. I'm sure that the chambers also voiced the Chamber of Mines, that is, what is possible, what Namibia can commercially beneficiate in-house. How do you see government and the private sector working together to achieve this goal?
Yes, I believe that is a very, you see, to grow the economy is actual that all the parties to the agreement, there must be a mutual benefit, and also looking at our mining, for instance, and I think that the Minister of Mines or the Chambers of Mine, their concern was about the 10% carrying and so on. So, but what is very important is that it's not about that we, we will chase them away. One can say that no, but it's about that we sit around the table as the investors, as our leaders. So and they debate. And when they debate on the sense of economical perspective.
Sorry, we do apologize for the interruption. We were speaking about
No, that's okay.
we were speaking about the collaboration between the private sector and government. Do you think enough has been done to bridge that gap, to have government and private sector speak to each other, especially on this important matter? Did you hear me? I was saying, do you think enough is being done?
So I can hear you now. It is actually breaking up, but I think now it will be fine.
Yeah, I was saying, do you think that enough is being done between government and private sector to speak to each other on the issue of beneficiation? Hello, Joseph. Hello.
So that is what hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. We can hear you. Continue.
Okay. Now, I believe that enough is not done yet, and I think that there is a room for the public and private sectors to come together. And as we know that you can never build economy based on the public sector only. Yes,
Hello?
yes.
Yeah, just your sound, please. Just speak a bit louder.
Yes, on my side.
Just the sound, please. Can you just speak a bit louder?
No, I'm not sure that the network problem is from my side or your side.
Let's just continue as best we can.
Okay.
How does local beneficiation speak to NDP 6, in your opinion?
Yes, that is a very and I call it as a living document, and also what the president indicated, especially at that meeting, and if you look at those strategies, I can give it a sort of like that. No Namibia must be left behind. as far as local beneficiation is concerned. So, and I believe that is an opportunity for us now to demonstrate that what we put in the NDP 6, it will not only be initiatives. So, but it is a living, it's a information that we are living by. So because we just have a 3 years to reach 2030. So the bottom line is that if we don't implement the N6 correctly, I can guarantee you now that we will not achieve our target for the Vision 2030. So everyone need to go along.
I want to bring a last question now to you so that we can wrap up the interview. The Mines Minister and the Deputy Prime Minister called for 51% local ownership in new mining ventures. If Namibia is to go ahead with this move, do you think then it is still fair for us to require local beneficiation, because then it means we're automatically owners of the resources?
Yeah. Yes. I think that the ministers is maybe excited. So, but what I want to caution is that I know that yes, we have the nature resources. So, but the bottom line is that we don't have the implementers, infrastructures, and also skills, and the investors. They come with all the technologies and so on. But at the end of the day, we are telling them that look, we want 51%, take 49%. I can guarantee you. And, also, what we need to understand is that Namibia be very careful. Uh, uh, they invest, they can also do other areas. We are competitive. So, and we must not come up policies of laws that will chase away the investors. It should be a win-win. And I'm not saying that I'm talking on the, because people might say that no, you are talking on the coward side. No, what I'm talking about is that if somebody come with if FDIs, so if the investors come with money, they come with all the technologies, they come with everything. So now you have only the materials. So obvious, telling them that okay, we want 51%. I can tell you that is not fair to them, and I can tell you, I can guarantee today, none of them they will take that position or acquire that right in our country. So because for me, it is just unfair for now. Let us start on a fair and a win-win solution. And as we continue, then obvious we can also start and say, okay, no, we are going now to increase our percentage and so on. Because now then we know that okay, we have our people are skillful and we have a technology and so on. But if we start the game like this, it will be very, very difficult, my friends.
Thank you so much for joining us on the Business 7 show.
So thank you, my friend Ben, for having me. Very, very excited. Thank you so much.
Lawmaker Justina Jonas has criticized the Kavango East Regional Council's approach to addressing poverty in that region.
East and West. Now, government is giving money to say, go and, empower my people so that they are coming out from poverty. You have applications submitted to you in May. These people are not sitting on the program. It's you, the regional council. Application of people out there waiting so that they can assist to address issues of poverty in this region. If we are wrong, we just say we are wrong, I'm going to take it up because we are sitting in the shoes of the CRO. Because even if the CRO was here, I could say the same thing. Because we are failing government. We are failing our own people. So, can we get away from this topic? Yes.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Yeah. No. I'm just surprised to hear that the directorate representations, the ministerial directorate, are not represented in the procurement. How did it come if they do not sit, or is it because of their level? Are they directors or they are sitting mostly here? Are they sitting there? Because every
Staying on the same matter, Jonas said that it was important for lawmakers to engage with communities, to take reports back to Parliament to help government make informed decisions about how to move forward with development.
Where we see things going wrong, we must address them immediately. Like what we are going to do in this specific case. We need to find out urgently to say what is happening, why this submission is not, approved. But we are also saying, I think it's important that the community members, the community members themselves must really, reach out more especially at the constituency levels, at their constituency councillors, at their leaders, traditional authority leaders, to air what they are going through. That's why we wanted to talk to the traditional authorities, the regional councillors, so that we hear what is happening, and also just to see what are we going to put in our recommendation. Because remember, our mandate as a lawmaker for us is to make laws and to recommend, to recommend and also to make laws. And through that, one can then see how do I look at the current structure of funding, for example. Is it sustainable the way it is? Or must we recommend a new way of funding which able to give hope to a person who's given funding of worth of 15,000.
Okanja Mayor Beatrice Katongondo recently opened a municipal office in the now A presidential area to better help serve residents of the Garden Town.
And opening our No Ape office, and all services as indicated that are available in town will be available at this office. Equally also, this office will be fully functional as from tomorrow. It is your office, let us take care of it, it is our office. I'm going to ask one of the community members to cut the ribbon for us, do us the honor to cut it for us. Can we clap hands when we are done clap for cutting, ne? Officially open, maybe we can just take a walk through the office.
As you can see, staying nicely.
Bringing service closer to the people. Yeah. Because you know what, we also have an office here, the mayor's office, and we also have one office.
The Roads Authority recently opened the first section of a road between Nkurenkuru and Nepara in the Kavango West region. Let's take a look.
We have now constructed 8 kilometers of this road as phase 1 of the project. We are now in the process of trying to mobilize funding so that we can see this project to completion. As you can see, the stretch of this road expands from the turnoff until Nepara is about 27 kilometers, of which we have already covered the 8 kilometers. And we'll now this funding, we can continue with this project as soon as possible. We would like to thank the contractor as well for completing this project within the agreed times. It took them about 6 months to complete this project, and as you can see, from March until now, they have completed the project within time and in budget. Myself and the CEO has also visited other projects within the region, namely Divundu to Moembo, which I would like to say that the contractor is really moving within the agreed timelines, and they are progressing well. We are, however, faced with a bit of challenges on the Andara Shamaturu road and then the Diona and Jarajara road. However, myself and the CEO are busy in discussions to find amicable solutions to resolve the issues that we are having on this project. And we hope to pick up on these projects as soon as possible and also see them to completion within the agreed times. Thank you very much.
Alt-Hava and List Executive Chairperson Sven Thieme says the opening of model in Namibia and the relinquishing of the Pick n Pay brand will ensure that income streams remain within Namibia.
A huge amount of the revenue streams will flow back into Namibia, which allows us to expand our stores, well, firstly revamp the stores, and then of course training. A lot of training will have to happen over the next years, and as Graham said, be patient with us. I think there's quite a bit of a range that we have not seen before, and I think what normally happens, people do the panic buying, which I would have done too if I didn't fly out today and tomorrow again. That you just want to make sure you get your 3 or 5 cheeses, that's enough for the next 2 weeks. So that will be happening too. Initially where things have just been bought out, and we've got many of the things that have been put on the shelf there and have immediately gone. So bear with us on that one, yeah. But just looking back to the model brand, it's where it all started. With the model supermarket in 1965, when the old man, my grandfather, didn't get a license to sell his groceries from the farm or the vegetables, and he just went ahead and bought his own supermarket, right? And that is, sometimes we hear in Namibia, this complain and blame BTY Limited, where everybody blames someone else. I think we just took it into our hands and created something of our own again, and that's what.
5 students from the Walfish Bay municipal area will head to Bremen in Germany to undertake courses in hydrogen. Let's take a look.
Our 5 trainees that are going to Germany are trainees that were that applied for the grant with SASCAL this last year, the year before last year. So, and they were able to complete their level 4 metal fabrication and boiler making. They proceeded on that same grant to start off with their level 1 and 2 for double-coated welding. The start there, everything has not been easy. We have been pushing through some serious challenges, but they've made it this far. We are also the very first, SASCAL has been sponsoring, this is the second cohort of students that they've been sponsoring, that they've been giving grants to within the green hydrogen sector. And Nish is the only TVET currently who managed in all these, is it 5 years that they are now currently granting, managed to get a cohort out to a TVET in Germany. Their requirements were that we have to make, as the TVET has to make our own connections with the TVET in Germany, and we are currently the only TVET in Namibia who have managed to do that. And so we are absolutely excited for the fact that we have brilliant young minds, young artisans going out, not just with the Niche flag, but also carrying the Namibian flag high. We really want to congratulate you. Congratulations.
Deputy Prime Minister and Mines Minister Natangwe Ithete recently, on a recent tour to the Namibia Competition Commission, highlighted the authorities' role in promoting competition within the Namibian market and also uplifting economic standards.
As a public enterprises under the Ministry of Industries, Mines and Energy, your work is vital in formulating and advancing on a legal framework that stimulates economic growth, safeguarding fair competition, protecting consumer and ensuring that our market remain open, transparent and efficient. I commend you, therefore, for the dedication and professionalism with which you carry out this mandate. The Commission's role in promoting fairness in business practice is not only important for business entities, but it is also central to the well-being and improved livelihood of all Namibians. Remember, all Namibians. By ensuring that competition thrives, we are creating a conducive environment that encourages our people to be innovative.
Thank you so much for joining us on this week's edition of the Business 7 Show. Hope to have you again back next week. Bye-bye.